this race. We're about to take an initial green flag. They are going to go 5 laps. After that, they're going to have what's called a mandatory competition caution. Why? Just to keep them bunched up. If they don't have the elbows up, if they're not swamping paint, it's not good in Stadium Super Truck. So 5 laps, mandatory comp caution, rolling single file restart, 5 more laps, the second and final competition caution, and then 5 laps to the checkered flag, 15 green flag laps here. And we're inside 1 minute to the green flag flies here. That being said, coming off of last weekend on a road course, great racing, good stuff. Bill Hines, one of his best performances of the year. But Blade Hildebrand, that's the story of race number 1, the number 68, the Empire Racing Truck. He won his first race, the young man, his first race in Stadium Super Trucks just a week ago. So very good. Right next to him, that's the number 83, Carlisle Tire. That's your 2018 world champion in Stadium Super Trucks, Matt Brabham. So we're only about 15 seconds outside of green flag racing. We're going 15 laps. Big money booter in the infield. As we've said in the past, everything's bigger in Texas. So is that jump at 140 feet to get to the sweet spot. So we're inside 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rich Phillips, we're going green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. So a good jump by Bill Hines. Holds the most pole starts in Stadium Super Trucks racing. He's been with us now the majority of the series. Hines goes real wide, gets heavy on the brakes, blows a great start right off the bat, almost gets into the water barrier.
And that puts Blade Hildebrand out front there as he has a terrible first turn there for Bill Hines. So Hildebrand's going to lead that group through and come over the big jump first. And we see a couple of trucks, Robbie Gordon, one of them that took the Joker lap the first time by too.
Now that's a bit of a strategy move. For Robbie Gordon, he's starting in the back. He's like, let's just get it out of the way. They've got to take that Joker lap, which is a longer lap, probably about 2 seconds, once in every segment. So every 5 laps, each competitor has to do it. If you're starting in the rear of the field, just get it out of the way. If you're starting up front like Blade Hildebrand is, now it gets tricky. When do you do the Joker lap? It has to happen. It has to happen 3 times in this race, once per segment. So what do? Right now, he's going to try to pull the lead on Matt Brabham, get a little bit of distance, and then make it happen as Matt Brabham gets all kinds of sideways off the second ramp on the front stretch.
Sheldon Creed there right on the tail of the orange truck of Robbie Gordon. I thought he was going to just about land on him when he came off that second jump on the front stretch. He is just bumper to bumper with him going through the chicane and all the way around coming to the big jump on the infield.
Now look at Blade Hildebrand in the lead right there, a little sideways off that jump. But if you're starting to see from practice yesterday to now, a lot of the faster guys are all going sideways. They're doing that on purpose. So when they land, they got that pretty aggressive 45-degree turn. Bill Hines in the last place, lands short, almost gets bucked over the handlebars. Just grabs a handful of brake, gets himself under control.
There's nothing worse than to come up short on that big jump. That's the last thing you want to have happen.
When you're talking 11 feet in height, just the takeoff.
Wow, Sheldon Creed making a pass in the air of Robbie Gordon on that last ramp.
Big pass. No surprise. We have actually seen Sheldon Creed and Robbie Gordon land on the top of each other in the past. I wouldn't say it's not going to happen today either. Those guys are fierce competitors as Gordon goes to the outside of Creed. Creed on the inside, able to make it stick, stays in front of Robbie Gordon.
All right, here's a replay of that short jump. Wow, he just barely was able to make it over. It's been a bad first run here for Bill Hines today off the pole.
He has struggled, and for those of you watching, we just had a pretty good get-off for Jesse Johnson, Jimmy Johnson's little brother, in practice with a big buck like that, went over end, not able to come out and compete in this particular race. So that jump is very technical, very sketchy. We've seen a lot of guys have some bit of trouble with it. Now look at Matt Brabham, front end low, rear end high. That's how he hits a lot of these aluminum ramps. What that means, he does not lift. He doesn't feather the throttle. He doesn't do anything. He just stands on the loud pedal all the way up and over those aluminum ramps.
Sheldon Creed, by the way, has caught on since yesterday. Now, yesterday we had a practice session. Of course, Sheldon ran Friday in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series, and he wanted to go down the front stretch and keep going to turn 1. He hasn't missed the turn yet today. He's figured out where that turn's supposed to be on that first one.
He does have it down now as he's looking good. He's got his eyes set on Matt Brabham and leader Blade Hildebrand. Now, if you remember, last year, Blade Hildebrand led the majority of one of the races here in No Limits, Texas, with having some trouble towards the end. Right now, he's coming off a win a week ago at COTA. He's got some big pressure by your 2018 world champion, Matt Brabham, right behind him. Sheldon Creed, he's quickly moving up to the pack, so a lot of pressure for the young Hildebrand. As they go to the inside, this is a technical area. In the past, that jumping back into the infield has caused a lot of problems. We've had trucks getting stuck. We've had trucks getting rolled over. We've had trucks pile into each other. Look at Sheldon Creed to the lead. Blade Hildebrand and Matt Brabham just took their joker. When are you going to do it? You have to do it in the 5 laps. You're forced to do it. Otherwise, you're going to lose 2 positions. They jumped in, did it there, put Sheldon Creed out in front. That's not good strategy.
That joker lap made a traffic jam on that last high jump there, as we had Robbie Gordon side by side there with the yellow truck of Blade Hildebrand and 2 more right behind him, including Matt Brabham. That was a traffic jam over that big jump.
Now look at where the caution flag is out. You see our USAC flagger, Chris Heck, down there, putting the caution out. So, way this works, folks, stage 1 is now in the record book. So this is the 1 of 2 mandatory competition cautions. This is simply meant to keep the pack bunched up. This particular time, I don't think we needed it. They were right on top of one another. You could throw a blanket over the top 5 or 6 competitors there.
I think Bill Hines wanted the competition caution.
Yeah, he's going to be happy with this.
He needed that. His all started with lap 1, turn 1.
And he did a Sheldon Creed this last lap where he blew that turn again going into it. So Bill Hines right now, he's got to just calm down, mellow out. Bill's one of those guys where he's talented, he's gotten fast, but no one gets in Bill Hines' head like Bill Hines gets in his own head. And I guarantee that's what's happening right now. He's got to calm down because this is the type of circuit that he can really perform on. He's had several podiums on the short courses like this and Stadium Super Trucks. He can do it again. He's just got to mellow out.
All right, so we'll get the field formed up one more time here, and they're going to go 5 more laps and then 1 more competition caution, and we'll run a final 5 laps to the checkered flag. And again, this is only race 1 today in the Outdoor Power Sports Off-Road Rumble. The Stadium Super Trucks are going to be here 30 minutes after the checkered flag for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500, so everybody needs to stay here after the Cup race finishes today because we get another round of the Stadium Super Trucks.
And like we said last night, Rich, normally it's the concert afterwards, but what's more rock and roll than Stadium Super Trucks, man? So it's going to be a great finish to the day. It's going to be the cherry on top after the Cup race later on this afternoon as Sheldon Creed right now in the number 2 Continental Tire. He's your current leader. He is going to set the pace on the restart. He can go as fast or as slow as he chooses. Blade Hildebrand almost gets into him right there. Green flag is out. 5 more laps up and coming as they race to the next and final mandatory competition caution.
Whoa!
Wow, big hang time for Robbie Gordon, but Sheldon Creed, our leader, he swaps back and forth, tank swaps, almost gets the rear end into the wall. Going to the infield, this is where they're calmed down. We haven't seen a lot of passing in that section in the past right there. They got to get through that clean. But right now, you got to remember, they have to do the joker lap 1 more time.
Our last 2 did the joker lap coming through there, including Bill Hines there in the back. Go ahead and get it out of the way. Oh, Robbie Gordon misses the jump, and he's on his lid. 2 more came up short.
Oh, big what up. Robbie Gordon got crossed up. He had big trouble. 2 more competitors, they get sucked into it as well. It looks to me that is going to be Matt Brabham. And I think Jeff Hoffman, as well as Robbie Gordon, he's up on his lid playing turtle right now.
I got another look at it here on Big Hoss TV, and Robbie Gordon just got squirrely going right into that jump and went off the side, and then he hit the barrier, and that turned him over, and then the next 2 came up short on the jump and are parked.
So a wild ride for Robbie Gordon. You see our crew
I do see,
up there.
by the way, Robbie crawling out of the truck.
It's not that often that you see Robbie Gordon check up on a jump like that, so he definitely did get quite squirrely there. You just see it looked like Jeff Hoffman in the KMC Wheels truck. He kind of just fell off the takeoff ramp as we see another replay there. Look towards the back of the screen. That's Sheldon Creed. He's good. Blade Hildebrand, he's good. Robbie Gordon, not good.
No.
Made everyone else check up. There is Hoffman. Oh, Matt Brabham. He gets into it as well. Big tumble for the 2 of them. There's nowhere for those 2 guys to go.
I was really surprised at the amount of momentum there that still brought him all the way over. I believe that was Brabham's truck that was really short and still had enough momentum to flip him back over up top.
And let me throw this at you, folks. You see those 2 trucks, that KMC Wheels truck number 47 of Hoffman and the 83 Carlisle truck of Matt Brabham. They end up on top of the landing ramp. that's not a simple task. That landing ramp is over 9 feet tall. So to tumble back up that's not an easy thing to do right there.
There you see Robbie Gordon up on Big Hoss TV, standing off to the side as the tow truck's there to help them right his truck, that orange number 7 for Robbie Gordon. This is his Stadium Super Truck Series, and a big pileup on the big jump. 3 trucks don't make it. Robbie with the ditch to the left, which led to the rest of the chaos. You said it was going to be some controlled chaos, right?
I said slightly controlled.
That wasn't very slightly controlled.
No, I think I should have thought before I spoke on that one. And like I said, it's odd to see Robbie Gordon, of all people, check up like that to get himself in a position where he felt, hey, I don't have the speed or the momentum to get from point A to point B. I got to check out midway up the ramp. Now, that's a 40-foot wide, 10-foot tall sea container holding that dirt into place with a foot of dirt on top of it, so 11 feet high. And then to go off the side of that, and then 2 other competitors, nowhere to go for Hoffman and Brabham. They just got sucked into the whole deal, and actually they were casualties as well. So they ended up wadding up, rolling off the front of the jump and back up the face of the landing ramp. That's 10 feet tall as well. That's not an easy task. So we see our crew. It looks like, I believe it was Brabham's truck, I think, drove off. I don't know if it was Matt Brabham in that truck. And right now I can't quite tell from our vantage point where Hoffman's truck is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going over to the pits or not. AAA Texas Trackside Assistance helping to get Robbie's truck righted. I did see also our Trackside Assistance check the front stretch wall over here that had a little kiss on the first lap of this run by Sheldon Creed when he got a little squirrely going over the first ramp, but apparently everything's okay. Of course, got safer barrier all the way around on the outside wall. There's the number 7 truck of Robbie Gordon that's been turned back upright. Now, these things have got a lot of sheet metal that will go flying, but they're pretty durable trucks, too. They obviously can take a beating.
Rich, you took the words right out of my mouth. And they are very tough trucks. We've had races all over the world where, these guys are upside down on their roof skidding at, 140 miles an hour, different things. But that was an odd crash right there, the way that happened. And Robbie Gordon, it looked like he may have also got up into the concrete safety barrier a little bit as well while upside down. So that being said, yeah, the trucks are tough. Yeah, these drivers are tough as nails as well. But boy, that was an odd situation. I have been at and called every single race of Stadium Super Trucks since its inception in 2013. And I've seen some gnarly stuff, but that, as far as the big over-under jumps, that was probably the hairiest. Look at that VP Fuels and Lubricants number 55 of Gavin Harlan. He's like, listen, the rest of you are checking up. I guess I'm going for it.
That's the money shot right there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Flying right over everybody else on the ramp.
I tell you, that was impressive. Talk about a kid that just goes for it. Watching all of that unfold right in front of him and saying, well, that's too bad for them. I'm still going. So a wild ride for all of them, including Gavin Harlan.
Including the creator of this thing, Robbie Gordon, with a big tumble off the side of the ramp. And you see, looks like they're going to take him with a tow truck back to the pits. So we may be down to 4 trucks, it looks like, for the remainder of race number 1 for the Stadium Super Trucks.
So what I'm hearing right now from race control is, under the circumstances right now, and of course, it's of the utmost importance that we have the Monster Energy Cup race start on time, get that all taken care of, and everyone involved with Stadium Super Trucks fully understands that is the main concern. So they're going to get these trucks pulled back over to the pier here so they work on it. And we're looking, it's going to only be about 3 or 4 laps with these last final trucks. So 4 trucks, maybe a lap for each truck, possibly if we're lucky, to the checkered flag. So that being said, once we get these trucks cleared, Robbie Gordon's truck obviously in tough shape right there with the Speed Side-by-Side.com Menards truck getting towed off. So a lot of work to do for our speed technicians.
You mentioned the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series drivers there. You see a bunch of them on Big Hoss TV with a bunch of fans around them on the red carpet. They're heading into the Xfinity Series garage where the drivers meeting will be at 12 o'clock today. You see Bubba Wallace among others through there. Chris Buescher. Great chance for some fans that are down there in the infield to see some drivers, maybe collect some autographs too as they head down the red carpet into the drivers meeting, which will be coming up at 12 o'clock. in the NASCAR Xfinity Series garage. Remember, driver intros are at 1:40, and the green flag just after 2 o'clock for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. And, of course, once that race finishes today, we'll have race 2 for the Stadium Super Trucks. Race number 1's been interrupted here briefly, but I do see that Chris Hecht has the green flag in hand, and we're about ready to go back running here, Sean.
And as we are, race control is just saying we're about to go, just a few laps for this one. So, couple laps left in race number 1 here for Stadium Super Trucks, as you mentioned, followed by the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500, and filling up with cherry on top with Stadium Super Trucks finishing the evening here. So a great day ahead of us. The sunshine is out. We're about to go green flag racing. 4 laps, Rich Phillips.
All right.
That's what's going to happen down to the checkered flag. So elbows up. Paint's about to get swapped. It's going to get physical. Sheldon Creed's in the lead. Blade Hildebrand at P2. Gavin Harlan and Bill Hine rounds out your top 4. And we are going green flag racing. 4 laps to go. See Sheldon Creed, not as sideways as he was on the last restart there. Kept it good and straight. Nice line into the infield. Blade Hildebrand, right now, he grew up racing with Sheldon Creed, but I know he also looks up to him as well. What a way to start your day to be able to pass Sheldon Creed. The problem is, it's hard enough to catch him.
Right.
Then you got to get around him. Does Blade Hildebrand have the ability to do that? Maybe, but he's going to need some luck on his side as well.
Sheldon, two-time champion in this series. We've seen him go to victory lane here at Texas Motor Speedway a couple of years ago as well. And, of course, we saw him Friday night racing in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. A lot of cones missing there on that last turn as Bill Hines was a little bit wide coming over back onto the front stretch.
Bill Hines says, how many cones did you hit? Well, how many were out there? Because I think you got them all. As Sheldon Creed, big air on the front stretch, a little sideways. Same thing as well for Harlan. Harlan really sideways. And look who has joined the party. Matt Brabham.
No front on the truck. He's ready to roll. No sheet metal on the front.
No, he has lost his hood. That is pulled off. Or as my good friend Matt Nolte would say, he has no bonnet on his truck.
Right.
As he is out there in the Carlisle number 83. So right now, Matt Brabham, he's just racing to get as many points as he can today.
Sure.
So right now, looking good and comfortable. Sheldon Creed back where he feels the most comfortable in a Stadium Super Truck. This is kind of where he cut his teeth in what I guess you could call big-time motorsport. And as you mentioned, 2-time champion, ARCA champion for 2018. Sheldon to the inside, hits that cone, doesn't knock it over, no penalty there. Just off the edge of that first ramp for all 3 of our top competitors right there, the first 3, hitting that a little crossed up. Looks like we got
Jeff Hoffman looks like he's coming back out, too, after that wreck on the jump. So
definitely a little more personality to that truck right now than it had before.
Yeah, almost has a convertible there. The roof a little bit high on the front of that truck.
So
a little opened up for him.
Definitely tough trucks right there. They take a beating, and the drivers as well. Call me crazy, but I think that truck's got to be about 6 inches shorter than it was at the original green flag right now.
Well, but the front left corner is standing up tall enough to make up for the distance, the difference, because it's been bent up definitely on the top.
He went into the paddock, said to the crew chief in there, said, hey, the King's not cornering real well. Let's shorten it up 6 inches. And so there we are out in front, the Continental Tire. Number 2, Sheldon Creed, looking very comfortable. I believe we're 2 laps left to go. BP Fuels, Lubricants and Fuels, number 55 in P2. That is Gavin Harlan. He has gotten by Blade Hildebrand, sets his eyes on Sheldon Creed, but I don't think we have enough laps to go for him to make a challenge for the lead. There is Bill Hines looking good, more comfortable. He is getting that first turn more dialed in right now.
Oh, he almost did miss it, though.
A little sideways. I almost spoke too soon. Matt Brabham, he's nice, calm, and cool. Brabham, Hoffman, they're just trying to get as many points as they can and hopefully come out for race number 2 and better what happened in race 1. Of course, they got sucked into that carnage. There's nowhere for them to go, and that allowed them to have to pull back into the pits, have the trucks worked on. So not the day they had hoped for when they woke up this morning. As big pressure right there. Blade Hildebrand, he bumps a little bit on the number 55 of Gavin Harlan, says, listen, I know you're right there, buddy. I don't want to push you into the wall, but I'm going to move you around a little bit. So putting some big pressure. Look at Hildebrand to the inside. Harlan keeps his line. Hildebrand nice and calm, not playing too dirty right there.
I don't think it's going to be very calm here on the big jump in a second.
No, I think we're going to see some good contact just before that jump. Look at Harlan had not taken his joker lap, so he did on that lap right there put Blade Hildebrand back into P2. Hildebrand gets over clean. Harlan as well. Now we're coming around, look at way out front, comfortable, just nice and mellow. Continental Tires number 2 of Sheldon Creed, as mellow as can be, cool as a cucumber, as a checkered flag is out for Sheldon Creed, winner of race number 1.
You said it yesterday that about half the field was happy Sheldon was here, about half wasn't. We see why some of them weren't, because he dominates in winning this first race. Blade Hildebrand coming across the start-finish line in second.
And you know, that's a big task, because when you got Matt Brabhams and Blade Hildebrands and all these guys, they're not slow. They're extremely talented. They're very fast. But then you got Sheldon Creed just comes out and says, yeah, I'll race one of those again.
Sure.
And then goes out and just puts it to him. So congratulations to Sheldon Creed and our top 3 competitors. And we do have one more race coming up 30 minutes after the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 here at Texas Motor Speedway. So just want to ask you, by a round of applause, No Limits Texas, how you feel about Stadium Super Trucks race number 1? All right, that's what I'm talking about, folks. Thank you so much for coming out, Rich Phillips.
Hey, man, it's worth the price of admission when we got trucks flying like that, okay? That's worth the price of admission right there. Austin, that's Sean Sermony with me up here, joining us for the Stadium Super Trucks. They'll be back one more time. The Outdoor Power Sports Off-Road Rumble concludes the day today, 30 minutes after the checkered flag for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. All right, we're going to open up the catch fence for